You've seen the articles. Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Marine Raiders, they train something different. But here's what the articles don't tell you. It's not that traditional arts don't work. It's that they were never designed for modern combat. Let me show you what actually happens behind the wire. When the Marine Corps built MCMA in 2001, they didn't pick one art. They pulled from boxing, wrestling, judo, jujutsu, taekwondo, and karate. But here's what matters. They organized it around 3 disciplines: mental, character, and physical development. Every Marine gets at least tan belt. Infantry Marines hit green. The techniques include unarmed combat, edged weapons, weapons of opportunity, rifle and bayonet techniques, ground fighting, and controlled sparring. But notice this, MCMA wasn't designed to create martial artists. It was designed to create better Marines. The mental discipline includes studying warrior cultures like the Spartans and Zulu. The character discipline focuses on ethics and responsible force. The physical techniques are only 1/3 of the program. In a dojo, the technique is the point. In MCMA, the technique serves a larger purpose, producing a Marine who can make ethical decisions under stress and function as part of a team. Look at the Navy SEAL pipeline. BUD/S is 26 weeks of physical and mental torture. First phase, physical conditioning, obstacle courses, hydrographic surveys, no martial arts. Second phase, diving physics, medicine, underwater confidence testing. Still no hand-to-hand. Third phase, land warfare, weapons, demolitions, land navigation, patrolling, small unit tactics. Still nothing. Hell Week involves running over 200 miles on 4 hours of sleep. Not practicing forms, not drilling techniques. After BUD/S, candidates go through SEAL qualification training, 26 more weeks of parachute training, SEER school, and advanced tactics. At no point in this 2-year pipeline is there a dedicated martial arts phase. When SEALs need hand-to-hand skills, they bring in outside experts. In 2012, DevGru issued a contract for boxing instructors, nationally recognized competitors with experience training special operations forces in close-quarter striking, footwork, and balance. Not traditional martial arts masters. Boxers. Federal law enforcement takes a similar path. The FBI's defensive tactics program focuses on weapon retention, controlled force application, ground survival, and multiple opponent management. Notice what's missing: forms, katas, and traditional ranking systems. For an agent, the primary weapon is a firearm. Hand-to-hand techniques are backup, and they need to work under extreme stress with minimal training time. The same pattern emerges across intelligence agencies. When you're operating in hostile environments, you don't have years to master a single art. You need a framework that integrates with your primary mission. That means techniques that are simple, repeatable, and proven under pressure. You need to be able to retain your weapon, control a subject without excessive force, survive if you're taken to the ground, and handle multiple attackers. These are mission-specific skills, not comprehensive martial arts systems. The goal isn't mastery, it's survival and mission accomplishment. Perhaps the most telling example comes from China. In 2014, the People's Liberation Army ordered troops to stop training traditional Wushu performance routines. These performance-based drills, rooted in Beijing opera and traditional martial arts, had been used for decades when funding for real military training was scarce. They served to boost morale and fill time. But as modern warfare demands increased, commanders recognized the obvious. Flashy performance forms have no place on a battlefield. Russia had already pioneered a different approach decades earlier. Their Systema, was developed for special operations and focuses on natural movement, breathing, and adaptability under stress. The key takeaway here is that militaries around the world are moving away from rigid, performance-based training and toward adaptable, mission-focused combatives. They're not abandoning techniques from traditional arts. They're discarding the structure that doesn't serve the mission. Here's the practical takeaway. Elite units don't reject traditional techniques. They reject the traditional framework. They take what works and integrate it into a system that prioritizes mission effectiveness over artistic purity. For you, this means you need to evaluate your training the same way. Ask yourself, does what I'm practicing serve a real purpose under stress? Does it integrate with other skills I need? Can I apply it while tired, scared, and under attack? If you're spending hours on forms that don't translate to live resistance, you're wasting time. If your school doesn't pressure test techniques against a resisting opponent, you're training for a performance, not a fight. The goal isn't to collect techniques from multiple arts. It's to build a coherent framework that works when everything else fails. That's what elite units do. That's what you should do too. Train with purpose. Test everything under pressure. Build a framework that works when it matters. That's the elite way, and it's available to anyone willing to do the work.